Red Bull's first option to replace Sergio Perez as Christian Horner confirms plan. Sergio Perez could lose his Red Bull seat next year after struggling to match teammate Max Verstappen. Red Bull reportedly have Daniel Ricciardo as their first option to replace Sergio Perez when the Mexican's contract expires next season. Christian Horner has been left frustrated by his driver this season, who has struggled to match the results of Max Verstappen. Dutchman Verstappen has dominated the championship with 13 wins from the opening 16 races and has finished off the podium just once. Despite having an equally dominant car, Perez has just 8 podiums to his name and crashed out of last weekend's Japanese Grand Prix. Perez is one of 14 drivers whose contract will end at the conclusion of next season, and a host of transfer activity is expected. The Formula One website have reported that Ricciardo is the chosen driver to replace Perez in the Red Bull seat from 2025. They claimed that Red Bull's favoured driver to replace Perez, if required either mid-season or at the end of the 2024 campaign, would be Ricciardo, with Liam Lawson then set to be drafted in to replace the Australian at AlphaTauri. Ricciardo was signed by Red Bull as a reserve driver after being sacked by McLaren last season. The Australian was then drafted into AlphaTauri and impressed during his first 3 races before breaking his hand at the Dutch Grand Prix. Ricciardo had his most successful years with Red Bull between 2014 and 2018, winning 7 races. Perez is currently under pressure in the Drivers' Championship with 6 races remaining, as Lewis Hamilton sits just 33 points behind. Horner has set his Red Bull driver the target of seeing off the 7-time world champion and recording a 1-2 in the overall standings. Red Bull team boss Christian Horner has refused to give assurances to Perez about his position at the team beyond his current contract. Confirming that Red Bull will assess other drivers next year, Horner said, "There are many pilots that you also have to pay attention to. There is a generation of drivers right now that has a huge amount of talent. Now, being Max's teammate will never be easy, and some drivers may be up to that challenge, others may not. But of course, in addition to the pilots we have internally, we keep an eye on everyone. As you can imagine, there is quite a bit of interest from certain sectors in driving a Red Bull car." The Brit has, however, backed. The Brit